PSVR2, the release date is reportedly targeting holiday 2020. This info is from Bloomberg via Kotaku, which has published a report that hints that the PSVR2 release date is targeting a holiday 2022 window, with Sony apparently set to release a new VR headset during that particular time. I guess the way the wording goes on this, we'll start seeing PSVR2 games like showing up, and then the actual hardware itself is going to be made available. The story itself primarily focuses on Japan Display Incorporated's decision to shift away from providing LCD screens to Apple in favor of VR headsets, where it goes on to note that Sony is not part of this trend. As a result, the format holder plans to use Samsung Display Company's OLED panels in its next generation PlayStation VR goggles. So it looks like everybody's stepping their game up. Nintendo on the OLED train, and Sony's back on the OLED train, because I love my Generation 1 PS Vita and its OLED goodness. And it's all set to launch during the holiday period of next year. Now, this sounds an awful lot like PSVR2's release window will be around that time period, but we should all take this with a pinch of salt for the time being, as Sony obviously hasn't announced anything at this point other than the fact that it's working on next generation PSVR. Sony hasn't revealed what the new PSVR hardware will even look like. As a matter of fact, the picture you guys saw in the link that I provided in the Twitch chat, that's a mock-up. Like, it's not even reality yet. Reality, haha. But we do know that the device's controller will utilize a number of features that have already been utilized in the DualSense controller. So the question I have for you guys on this: are you excited for virtual reality yet, with the PSVR 2 becoming more and more of a reality? I know I'm going crazy with the puns tonight. I'm sorry. Dan, what's your thoughts on virtual reality? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm sorry, I have no opinion on this one either. I've never really played anything in VR, and I just don't have interest in it. And I don't know anybody who plays in VR or has interest in it. So, I don't know why I don't have any interest in it either. It just, I don't know. It's just something that never reached out to me. So the story, this one just ain't for me.
What do you say, Pat?
Well, unfortunately, I'm one of the people that kind of gets motion sickness with the PSVR or any VR, it seems like.
Yeah.
So I'm not terribly excited. I did like Beat Saber a lot. I don't know. Like, I guess I kind of want to know what makes this one a 2 versus, what they have right now. Like, is it supposed to be better graphics? Is it supposed to, kind of get rid of that motion sickness?
Well, the biggest draw I know for this is definitely pixel density. This time around, so like it's going to have a better resolution. I do not know the specs about the resolution, but it's already reportedly being better than even Oculus's current resolution. And of course, all the functionality that's similar to DualSense controllers and stuff like that. That's the most I know without doing like a deep dive into like what the features are, because I'm also like you. VR gives me motion sickness as well. Like, and plus like I have a hard time also like assessing depth with this stuff on my head, because I have astigmatism in both eyes.
Same.
Yeah. So this is why guys like me were no fun with when 3D movies and 3D gaming was a thing. It's like no, I don't see it. As a matter of fact, I'm just looking at a distorted screen right now. Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, I did have the PSVR, and I did really like it when there were games coming out for it, but eventually they hit a long time where in between, like, I think in between Iron Man VR and like the last like Arizona Sunshine, there's a good like 6 months, 7 months difference, and I was like, I just don't care to use it anymore. And the problem with it was so many wires. It was a pain to pull everything out. It was a lot of stuff to have out. So you'd put it up, and then anytime you feel like VR, you're like, oh, I gotta set it all back up again. And so I'm hoping PSVR2, it really helps with the functionality. They got to go a lot cheaper. I mean, the PSVR was, I believe it was $400, maybe
Yeah, I
500
think.
when you got all the controllers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't have any of the Move controllers, so I think it was 500 with the Move controllers.
Yeah,
And
it was kind of pricey, and
yeah,
luckily for me, I still
and
had like
that
some Move controllers sitting around from the PS3.
mhm. Well, and it was at the time it was the cheapest option.
Yeah.
Vive was like 700, the Oculus was 1,000, or vice versa. And so now, the Oculus is like $200. They have that $200 version now, and so PlayStation's really gonna have to cut the cost on it for it to be a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have to be a lot simpler too. And honestly, for me, I don't think we're there where like I'm gonna see the best graphics in VR right now. So as long as you can make a cool experience that isn't gonna make people sick, I think those are the key things you go for. And you make affordability, and then you make good games for it. And at first, it was a lot of fun. I played like the Arkham VR game, which I really liked. But after a while, I was like, well, there's nothing else. And Gran Turismo Sport was an okay game that I just didn't feel like grabbing my VR out for. So I'm interested to see what they do with this, but they're really gonna have to sell me, because at that point I was, I had a lot more money back then. I was not in college or anything, so I all my money was whatever I want to do, and so I'm hoping that they sell me better on this one than they did the first one. So
Yeah, I'm a hard sell. I'm a hard sell on this stuff. I look at a lot of this stuff as gimmicks. I was one of those people. I didn't even have a good time with the 3D settings on the 3DS. So yeah, like it's all like a glorified gimmick, just another way to pull money. Even though like all I want to do is just play video games. So I'm sorry from the Debbie Downer on anybody that's excited about PSVR, but like if I'm over at your house and everything, I'll try it out.
yeah. Beat Saber alone makes me want to have the VR, because Beat
Now-
Saber is a fun game. It's just fun.
Now, Beat Saber, that is a game that I actually had all sorts of fun with, but I like music games, so it doesn't take a lot. Like I'll play around with my discomfort for a little bit to play a music game. I will do that.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like it's better on PC because you can get everyone's modded versions, which has all these songs that you could possibly want. You
Yeah.
have your whole Spotify playlist on Beat Saber, whereas PlayStation's limited to the original soundtrack. So
Yep.
that's the other thing. Like PlayStation's gonna have to do a lot more to kind of keep up with that kind of stuff.